they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham Emery in the morning, Sunday morning. Marcus Bradham.
Justin Emery. Good morning, Eagles fans.
Why'd you say your name like that? That was weird.
I just wanted to give it some more energy because we know that we know it's not going to be coming from that side.
I'm playing hurt today.
It's okay.
I pulled
it happens. It happens.
I pulled a hammy.
So I'm here to pick it up for you.
I appreciate it.
You know, when your teammate falls down, you got to pick it up.
You got to do it.
You got to run with it. So it's cool. I got it. Don't worry about it. We're here.
Love, bro.
Okay, day after Halloween.
Yes.
Sistine Chapel opened 500 years ago today.
Wow.
Believe that. 500 years ago.
I do. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to take your word for it.
So not only is it week 8, it is Dallas week.
It is indeed Dallas week. And we will get into
I really didn't get excited about it until pretty much yesterday.
Right. Yeah, this is Dallas week, but you know.
After I watched that joke of a Penn State game last night.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah. It was bad.
Was it beaten?
I mean, they I don't know what the spread was.
Mm-hmm. It was 10.
They lost by, it was 38-25. So
right.
13.
All right. Not terrible.
Not terrible. Somehow the quarterback for Penn State, I forget what his name is, going into he threw a pick on the last drive.
Mm-hmm.
Clifford. Going into that last drive, he was like close to 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Wow. Especially after coming off how bad he looked last week against Indiana. Go figure. Yeah, we're going to get into all things Eagles and NFL in a little bit, but I want to run something by you.
Talk to me.
So I know you don't have children, but I think you'd be good talking to about this. So I feel like you're going to be my team on this one.
Okay.
So we had a conversation with a friend like last weekend, and like we were just talking about, you know, kids, whatever like that, and driving came up. Now my oldest is 10 and my youngest is 5. So we got about 6 years till she's ready, and then 11 years for him. But she's on the school of I'm going to wait. I want to wait. I want my kids driving right away. Where me, I'm like, are you kidding me? I want them driving as soon as possible. That means the less work I need to do. Like, because remember, when you first get your license, everything's exciting. You want to go to Target? I'll go to Target. Mom, you need socks? I'll get you socks. Like, you're excited to do whatever. You just want to get behind a wheel and drive. So now you can drive around and do things I don't want to do. Like, if we run out of milk, guess who's going to get milk? You're going to get milk. I don't want to do that at Tuesday night, 7:30. We're out trash bags. Guess who's going to get trash bags? You're going to get trash bags. Oh, your little brother at practice needs to get picked up? Guess who's doing that? You're doing that. I now have an Uber in my household.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If I go out with the lady. We go out for a night. Shouldn't be driving. Who are we calling? We're calling you. Come pick us up.
All that makes sense to me.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Why would you not want your children to drive immediately, as soon as they can?
I have no answer for that.
Like they will have their permit and license accordingly by 16.
I only knew one person who didn't get their permit right at 16, mm-hmm. and that wasn't because his parents didn't allow it. He just didn't pursue it. Now that is a different topic.
You always have that friend.
Yes.
There's always that friend that and honestly, it's a smart move if you think about it. Because like if you're in a group of friends, like I was the youngest in my group of friends, so like I was the last one to drive, but I didn't really need to because everyone else drove. Like I never had to worry about getting anywhere.
Your younger siblings should not get their license prior to you.
Yes, that's true.
I'll leave it at that.
That shouldn't happen. Yeah, I agree. That's a lot. But like,
at what point? So let me ask you this:
okay,
if say like in the scenario you just laid out, where you're the last in your friends group, it's smart if it's your choice not to get it right away.
Yeah.
At what point in time is it that it doesn't matter? You have to do it.
I think you should have it by your like 19th birthday.
Okay, so not junior year of college.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean that's aggressive.
So I'm not giving out any names, but
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't because then you're getting to the point now where it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing about dates? Like, you can't be the guy. Can you come pick me up? You can't be that guy.
Yes.
You can't be the come pick me up guy. Because like that's not a good look at all. You can't like.
I'm not sure.
I'm not like an old school person, but first dates I should be driving you somewhere if I can.
I'm not sure he was worrying about that.
That wasn't on the radar.
Wasn't on the radar.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was the youngest in my group, but it was nice because I never like a ride to school. A car would just show. I had a car service. One of my friends would just show up to pick me up to go to school, and then it was great initially because they all like I had friends. You always have that friend that's like super old for no reason.
I was just about to say,
and he's like a sophomore.
I was about to say, we had this one guy in our friend group who was held back a year in school.
Okay.
When he transferred from his wherever he went before.
I have more questions about being held back though. Well, we're getting that in a second. Now you've inspired questions.
Yeah. So when he transferred to the school I went to,
yeah, he
repeated the grade that he was in. From wherever he was at prior to that.
Okay.
So he was a year older than all of us anyway. That was a plus.
Yeah.
Like he was
That's
like
huge.
he was. I was when he turned 16, sophomore year of high school. Yeah,
no,
something like that.
15. That's 15. 14 freshman, 15 sophomore, 16 junior. That's how it should be. 17 graduate.
I graduated when I was 18.
Well, I guess you were on the older spectrum though.
Yeah, my birthday's in January.
Yeah, I'm September.
Yeah, you're on the way. You're on the way back
way
end.
Earlier. Like I just made the cutoff.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was driving us to school my freshman year of high school.
And everyone has that friend that's just old for no reason. Like you look at he was born like 75, and he's
so
like
we were in the same grade, but he was driving me to school freshman year.
Right. But how lazy do you have to be to get left back in school?
So do you want me to repeat the story he told me?
I do want to hear this. I do want to hear this because that's exceptional. Being like, because I don't understand the being left back then.
See, I don't understand it either.
Teachers don't want to see you again.
No,
they will have no desire to see you again.
No.
So you have to be like really, really poor, doing really, really poor in school for them to say, you know what? I don't even. You're staying here with me. You can't go with your friends. You're staying here.
So I actually know two people. One person was held back and then held them into my grade, and then one person was in my grade and then held back into the grade behind me.
What?
Yes.
Like what?
So I don't the guy who was in my grade and then held back into a grade behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. Like I don't remember exactly what happened there.
Okay.
And I knew that guy up until like a little bit through college, and he wasn't, he didn't seem like the kind of person who needed to be held back. So I don't really know what the scenario was behind that.
Yeah, it's not like a lack of intelligence.
Because it was
a lack of just wanting to do things.
And it was very like he was held back like kindergarten, first grade, something like that. He was held back very young.
Really?
Yes.
He was redshirted.
Yes.
Redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman. The other guy, though, like I said, he wherever he was at, he transferred into my school and repeated. I think it was second, maybe third grade.
Wait, real quick before you put this, that's a parent decision to hold back at kindergarten, first grade. So, like, what are you seeing in your child? Like, are they not holding the scissors correctly? Like, what's happened? Why we need to repeat kindergarten?
I don't know.
I don't like. It's gonna have to be really bad for me to look at my child and say you can't go to first grade.
Yeah.
Like, because even if I think they're a little behind, I'm like, you're gonna figure it out. We can't have you be the kid that repeated kindergarten. We're not doing that.
So he like I said, he transferred to our school.
Yeah.
And we didn't. It took like a year before like our group of friends learned that he was held back.
Yeah, because no one's talking about that. Like, I'm not telling you that.
So I remember one time we're at one of those lunch table conversations, and one of our other friends asked him, because you always had that one friend who just has no who's like, I just got to know, just asks.
Yeah.
So he just asked.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was held back because I didn't do good at my other school because all I did was sleep all the time in class. I thought class time was nap time, and the teacher, he's like, the teacher would turn the lights off in the classroom and put like a projector up, and he's like, I would be tired and fall asleep. And
That's incredible.
I probably heard that story in like 1997, and it stuck with me. Like, to this day, I can hear him telling the exact story in my head. Yeah, the teacher, we used a lot of overhead projections, so she would always turn the light off, and the second the lights went off, I would just fall asleep. So I would just sleep all day long.
You go back to the overhead projector. That noise alone, that white noise, could make you tired.
Yeah. Well, so you know how like the laminated sheets with the marker they would write on it.
Yep. Yeah.
And then that way they could write as you were, if they had to change something while it was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so, you always had that one teacher who would have it up there but was too lazy to do it themselves. It would sit at like their desk and have somebody near the student near the projector move it, move it, move it, move it. Well, one time the teacher was like, "Oh, I misspelled or whatever it was. Can you change it?" And like toss the student a marker. And then whoever the teacher was went back to looking at the book or whatever she was doing. Well, the girl, I guess, had no clue that she was supposed to write on the projector lamination. Took the marker, went right up to the white sheet that was down, and just started writing it on the white sheet. So.
That's incredible.
I don't remember what happened. Like, I mean, what are you supposed to, teacher didn't really give...
No.
Especially, we're in like fourth grade. So like, what are you going to do? But I remember watching and being like, I've never seen the teacher write on that. I don't think that wipes off.
It's possible. I think that laminator is now broken.
Yeah, it was something else.
So, anyway, back to the driving thing. Let's wrap this up. Yeah,
I'm in the same school as you.
Yeah, have your kids drive. They should be driving immediately. Get them on the road so you have to do less.
There's certain
the goal
states.
In life is do less.
There's certain states in this country that if you own a lot of farmland, you can drive at 14.
I'm in.
I think we should push it.
The first time I drove a car, I was 13.
I think I was 15.
I stole my mom's car and drove to the city.
I didn't steal it. I took my mom's minivan from my house to Target and then back.
There you go.
Which was like 2 blocks.
There you go. I mean, driving's not that difficult. Just figure it out.
I went and got a haircut.
What?
Yeah, well, I drove and got a haircut.
Was she aware of this?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, like not like afterwards.
My mom still doesn't know the story.
Oh yeah, and
hopefully she's not listening.
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say
I'll probably be grounded at 40.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was one of those things where it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Absolutely.
So
1000%. So NFL, we got Dallas week, which we'll get into, but we're gonna mix it up a little bit today. We're gonna try something new.
So for the last week, we both went 9-4. On the 4 games we disagreed on, we split 2-2. So we walked away with an even record. So I'm still 1 game up on you on the season.
Ooh, it's a big week for me. Big week for me. Yeah, the Titans killed me. I mean, that game killed me.
The game that killed me was Atlanta.
I thought they were coming back.
And I'm glad I didn't take your advice on it. But anybody that took your advice to try to bet on Dallas,
yeah, I took a bath with that one. I mean, and I guess the question was, could they be that bad to lose to watch a football team? And the answer is yes. But listen, The Eagles did also, so it's not really a lot we can say about that. But yeah, that was even still, I'm surprised by the outcome of that game. Like I thought for sure they would be able to figure it out with them, but they couldn't. And even more damning, I feel, was the reaction after your quarterback gets plastered and nobody at any point wanted to do anything. I remember I immediately thought back to, do you remember when the Eagles played the Redskins, Nick Foles' first year?
Oh,
and,
man.
Nick Foles was an interception. And a lot of
Jason
times,
Peters.
Right. A lot of times when quarterbacks throw interceptions, the defense take liberties because, they can hit
Defender,
them now.
yeah.
So someone, I forget who it was,
It was
Nick Foles.
Baker.
Okay.
Forget what his first name is. Last name was Baker.
Blast Nick Foles. And you see Jason Peters. Jason Peters on the other side of the field. And he runs in your screen and gets right in the guy's face. And a bunch of other people. That's how it should be. And it says a lot for what your team is doing when they don't feel they need to do that.
Real quick about that
Yeah.
Nick Foles incident and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe about a year ago, somebody posted, I think it was one of the Washington linebackers posted that video and tagged whoever the guy Baker is in it, here.
Yeah.
He commented on it, he goes, you don't realize how much that hurt when Jason Peters hit me. He's like, my helmet was unstrapped. He goes, I thought we were just going to get in each other's face, talk trash, and walk away. And next thing I knew, the dude just jaws me in the face.
Yeah. He the captain was not happy. He was not happy at all. All right.
That got him the bodyguard nickname.
Yep. Rightfully so. So let's start in Baltimore with a slugfest. Ravens Steelers. Pittsburgh going in as a +4. Baltimore favorite at home by 4, obviously. Who you got?
Man, I'm going to go with the Ravens. But it's not going to be a blowout. Like that 4-point spread, it should be lower than that.
Right.
It should be.
Well, yeah, you know how it goes. You get the 3 at home. So really they're about a 1-point favorite.
Yeah. And I don't know if Baltimore's allowed to have fans in the stands yet or not. But
neither do I, but I'm imagining so. I'm just thinking.
I just don't understand the purpose of the 3-point home field advantage if there's no crowd.
I can't argue with that.
Because if there's no crowd, then that really should just be a pick'em game.
Yeah.
And even if there's 7,500 fans and 80,000.
It doesn't affect anything.
So I view this as, I'm going with Baltimore because it's really hard for me to ever go against Lamar Jackson.
True.
Because if he can't throw the ball, against the defense, that won't necessarily stop him from lighting up for 200 yards on the ground. I just keep thinking of what Kaepernick did against the Packers that one time, and Lamar can do that times 10.
Right. I have bet against Pittsburgh 2 weeks in a row and have paid the price 2 weeks in a row. So I'm going to do it a third week in a row. I'm going with the Ravens also. I think that, out of the 2 games Pittsburgh played with Titans and now I'm going on the road again, I don't see how they win both of these games. So I think logic tells you that this is a Ravens victory.
Yes.
And probably Pittsburgh will pay them back at home later in the season.
Yes. Big division game too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a fun matchup, a close matchup, and a physical matchup. All right, Dolphins, Rams, Tua Tagovailoa. I know I messed that up. First start as a Dolphin.
It doesn't matter. I'm going the Rams.
I would agree with you. Rams will win this game. I mean, listen, I think Tua is a underdeveloped product. I think it's something that he might, next year. And I'm not gonna. I was strong against Kyler Murray. I didn't think that was going to work.
I agree.
I didn't think that was going to work.
I'm still not totally sold on it.
I don't know. I don't know at this point how you cannot be. I mean, he's doing I guess I underestimated how great of an athlete he really is. And and not just that, he's making the throws also on top of that. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And,
my policy on all people in the NFL is I need to see it for more than one season at a high level. Otherwise, you can just become Peyton Hillis.
Who?
Peyton Hillis. Remember the running back?
No.
Cleveland Browns. One good season Worked his way onto a Madden cover.
Oh, like now the name's coming back to me. That I totally erased that name from my life.
Look up his stats. I think it's 2011, maybe 2010, 2011. Look up his stats. He had one good year.
Yeah, he's become Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones.
He went and got a nice little contract out of it. And I need to see it for more than 1 year. So that's my problem. If he comes out next year and plays like gangbusters next year,
then you're in.
I'm in.
I think Kyler Murray had a pretty decent. His rookie year was better than I thought it was going to be.
That's why I had to wait. After Mahomes' his first year of his 50 touchdowns, I said, "Wait, don't crown him yet. Let me do it." Now, granted, I'm sold now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I need to see it for more than 1 year.
I hear what you're saying. So yeah, I don't believe that he is ready now. I mean, I think this is early, and I actually, I feel bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And you know what? It was interesting. I just thought about this real quick. When Tua went in for that, the last couple snaps, you saw Fitzpatrick excited for him, getting the crowd into it. I think people assumed that he was just happy with him and just taking his job. I don't it's like he never thought
he didn't think that it was
right.
a wrap.
And he was devastated, and I was relieved because I was like, why are you excited another man's taking your job? I don't understand. But then he said, yeah, I had no idea. Now I have to sit in the same room with this kid. It's awkward. So I felt for Fitzpatrick because he's been a guy that's always been the placeholder. He's never been the guy, like I always say, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's always been Ryan Fitzpatrick. But moving on to Buffalo. Buffalo a -4.5 at home to the struggling New England Patriots.
I'm going with Buffalo just because I know Stephon Gilmore is not playing.
Gilmore is out.
Gilmore's out. And that will free up Diggs a lot. And I just don't see them having an answer for that.
I am going the other way on this one. I'm going the other way because typically a Bill Belichick team losing 2 weeks in a row is, I know this isn't a great Patriots team, but it is also, too, they looked so bad against San Francisco.
Did you see what Cam Newton said this week? It was very disheartening.
Which time?
When he said that, he basically came out and said that the offense here is too complex for me. Now, he didn't say in those exact words, but that's basically what he said. So when it's all summed up into what, because it was paragraphs of what he wrote, but all summed up, he said that the offense is too complex for him here.
That's not good. That's not a good thing at all.
I'm guessing by your reaction, you had not heard that.
I had not heard that. That's not good.
He basically said it requires him to do too many reads, too many checks, and he has to account for too many different things, both pre and post snap, compared to what he's used to. And he doesn't know if at this point in his career he can catch up to speed.
Do you think he's made a call down to Tampa Bay? I mean, I would.
Who?
Cam.
Call Tom?
Call Tommy.
For what?
Hey, I'm running this offense up here. Can you give me some pointers? How to do this? Guys do that. Guys do that all the time.
No.
I'm calling up the GOAT. Why not?
And the GOAT's hanging up on you.
He's not going to hang up on Cam. I think he's going to give him some pointers.
Disagree entirely. Entirely disagree.
That all the time. This happens.
Entirely disagree.
Because it's Tom Brady?
Yes.
I don't know. He might surprise you. I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, you only played in this offense for 20 years. They're not in the same division. Give it a shot.
I think that you might underestimate how much underlying animosity between Belichick and Brady might be. Because any assistance to Cam is assistance to Belichick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do think that Tom definitely roots for Bill's demise.
I mean, it's one of those things that...
But he likes Josh McDaniels.
It's one of those things in 10 years when Tom's retired and Belichick's not coaching anymore, then they'll look back on it fondly.
Well, we might find out next year because they're doing that whole Last Dance style documentary on Tom Brady coming out on ESPN next year.
Yeah.
So you might find out some behind the stuff next year also. All right. We always take forever doing these games.
That's why
we always have side stories. We can't just get down to business, can we?
No.
We're two old ladies on a bench with nowhere to go. We just sit here and just gab. We're like the Golden Girls. Just gabbing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for being my friend.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's
right.
power through these last games.
Okay. Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay's a -6 at home. I got Green Bay.
Not even up for debate, Green Bay.
Kansas City, Jets. Come on. Stop it.
That's one of the largest lines I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a college line. It's a Clemson line.
Which, by the way, they did not come even close to covering.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Trevor Lawrence got the COVID, that kind of...
I can't believe the books did not readjust the line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, people...
No,
it was said
it was
that
plus 27.5.
Right. It
was readjust the lines.
The freshman that came in there was... They thought they weren't going to miss a beat. I don't know how they thought that, but here we are. Vegas, a +2 on the road to Cleveland. I got Vegas in this one.
I actually do as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to bounce back off a bad loss to Tampa Bay last week, and
I think without OBJ, that Cleveland offense. I mean, it's not good now, but it's really not going to be good.
I disagree there. I actually think it may be addition by subtraction.
No, because I hear what you're saying, but the amount of attention you have to give Odell Beckham, even if he's not involved, catching the ball, and the amount of attention that's now going to distribute elsewhere. Baker's not good enough.
I see why you say that. I feel like with Baker, it's like he sometimes tunnel visions Odell Beckham. And like I think that taking him off the field has kind of forced him to like look at other things. Like you look at against Cincinnati last week, Baker had a great second half, and a lot of it had to do with spreading the ball around. I think Cleveland's got too much over there. It's too many. It's almost too many weapons, and like they just don't know what to do. But moving on. Detroit, Indianapolis. Detroit, a +3.5 at home. I got the Colts.
I got the Colts, too.
Tennessee, Cincinnati. Tennessee's a -7 going to Cincinnati. I got Tennessee. I think they'll bounce back off a bad loss to Pittsburgh last week. They off to a bad start, but...
I'm with you. I'm going Tennessee, and we say it every week. Cincinnati will win a game. It just won't be this game.
Correct. Denver, Chargers. This is a weird game. Denver's a weird team. They have a really, really good defense, not a great offense at all. Chargers, I don't know.
I'm going LA. I believe in Herbert, man.
I'm going to go Denver because I don't like a rookie quarterback against that defense. I don't think Chargers are going to score a lot of points, and that's when Denver thrives.
I don't think Denver's going to score a lot of points.
Denver won't score a lot of points. It's gonna be like a 16-10 type game, something like that.
It's another game that you don't bet on.
Correct. San Francisco, Seattle. Seattle is a -3 at home to San Francisco. I think Russ is gonna. I think there's gonna be a blowout. I think Russ is gonna light it up. Russ threw 3 picks last week, which is weird. He didn't do that. I think he's gonna light it up. I think there's gonna be like a 35-17 type of game, but not even that close. I don't think San Francisco can hang with them.
I agree with everything you're saying. To be honest with you, every week that passes, I'm more and more out on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes. Yeah, he's a manager. He's a game manager. He's not going to ever do anything to help your team win. He won't do things to help your team lose necessarily, but he's not ever going to do anything that you're going to be like, whoa, look at that throw, or whoa, that was a Jimmy Garoppolo game. He needs all components of the team to be successful for him to be successful.
I agree.
And I also like the trade they made to get Carlos Dunlap. They couldn't get any pressure at all for the first 10 plus weeks of the season, or 8 weeks, 9 weeks. What week are we in? 8 weeks this season. They couldn't get any pressure at all at the quarterback.
No.
Kyler Murray did whatever he wanted back there, and that's one of the reasons why they lost. Because
they really miss Clowney right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Chicago at home, +4 to New Orleans. This is a weird one.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans.
Okay.
And I'm also going to go on record as saying this is going to be Nick Foles' last start for the Bears.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
I feel bad for Nick here because this is not on him. This offensive line is terrible. Nick Foles is not built to play behind this offensive line because the offensive line, they can't protect him. And Nick Foles is a guy. He's not ever. We know Nick Foles is a statue. He can't go anywhere. So like, Trubisky might be better for them because Trubisky's mobile, but Trubisky can't make the throws that Nick Foles can. Because Nick Foles is, what does he do best? He throws 50-50 balls. He'll take shots. He can't do that if he's not protected.
Going to take a little break real quick here.
Yes. We'll take a quick break.
Quick break, pay some bills real quick.
And when we come back, we'll get right back into the NFL.
Absolutely. Let me tell you about my friends over at Conshohocken Bakery. Kanjibakery.com. Tomato pies, desserts, rolls, breads, everything you need. Make sure to get your Dallas Sucks tomato pie for the game this evening. 79 Jones Street, Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, 19428. Call ahead at 610-825-9334. Check them out, kanjibakery.com. Make sure to tell them that Justin Marcus sent you.
Do you think they could do a DiNucci Sucks pie?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they could.
You need DiNucci Sucks.
You need DiNucci Sucks.
That's, by the way, that's one of the worst quarterback names I've ever heard in my life.
Ben DiNucci.
The Nooch. Terrible. All right, so this brings us to Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles are a -11. That's a big line. Big line.
Big line. I saw 10.5 some places, 11.
Yeah, -11 at home to the Cowboys.
This next 30 minutes
Yes.
is going to be my favorite 30 minutes that we ever do on this show until, what is it, week 14 or so?
Yeah, we'll get after it.
Yes.
I would not touch the points here because I don't trust the Eagles to cover anything right now. I think they're going to win the game, but I'm going to be honest, I am terrified about this game. And we'll get into that in like about a minute, but I'm a little nervous about this one. I got the Eagles. I would go money line. I would not touch the points on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the money line value is, but you definitely take the money line. Stay absolutely away from the points.
Throw it in a parlay. This is a game you throw into a parlay because it's basically a sure thing. The Eagles are going to win the game. I just wouldn't trust them to cover.
If you tease the line a few points down for you, you could do that.
Yeah.
But like you said, they could not cover anything as far as a spread, a receiver,
right,
a sandwich, nothing. They have no spread.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last game of the week, Tampa Bay going to the Giants. The Giants are a +12 at home to the Bay.
I mean, this is up there with KC, Jets, Tampa Bay, New York, Eagles, Dallas. Sure thing.
The GOAT is going to do what the GOAT does. Goats do GOAT things. He's going to go in there to New York and do what he does.
I missed your pick for the Saints game.
I got Chicago.
Okay. I
got Chicago. I believe they rebound. I just don't trust New Orleans, and I think this is an upset. I think Chicago takes care of business now.
Okay, so we have 3 games this week that we disagree on, which means that we could either have a tie, a lead shift, or strengthening the lead.
This is a major week here. Major week. So, Eagles, Cowboys. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I am terrified of this game. And I'm going to tell you why I'm terrified of this game. Because I live in Philadelphia. And things that are improbable in Philadelphia are probable. And people out here who listen to me right now who think I'm crazy and think I'm out of my mind, I want to take you back to a snowy Tuesday in 2010. The Eagles had just come off. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about Eagles-Giants, the big comeback, Deshaun Jackson returning the punt, taking it to the house. Eagles are 10-4 at this point, and they have an opportunity to clinch a top 2 seed in the NFC. They were supposed to play on Sunday, but there was a snowstorm in Philadelphia, so they couldn't. So the game got moved to Tuesday night. They are facing the Minnesota Vikings, and a man by the name of Joseph Webb, Joe Webb, who we have never heard or seen again, comes into Philadelphia and beats the Eagles. This is why I am afraid. Because things like this happen in Philadelphia. Bad things happen in Philadelphia. If you can hear the stress in my voice, is because I am stressed out about this game. Everything that makes me nervous is that everything is pointing to an Eagles dominant victory. It's all pointing that direction. You look at the Cowboys, they are falling apart. Mike McCarthy has no control of the locker room. Their defense is big trash. There's no reason why the Eagles should lose this game. Ben DiNucci. Isn't that a name that a Philadelphia team would lose to? A man by the name of Ben DiNucci. And if the Eagles end up losing this game, where do we go from here? Where do we go?
So
You're stressed. I'm stressed out.
So, for those of you, obviously, you can't see us in the studio. I had to take my headphones off. I had to take my glasses off. I had to just, I had to just pull myself together for a second. Because you just told everybody to put this game in their parlay. It's a sure thing. And now you're telling me you're worried about it and you're stressed out.
Yes. Well, listen.
Okay, hold. Let me.
Okay.
Let's get through this. So we'll start with their defense, like you said.
Yes.
Okay. Remember when Cowboys fans thought they had the best linebacking duo in the league?
Yes.
Okay.
Wasn't that just last year?
I believe it was 2 years ago.
Whenever they beat the Saints at home,
I think
they pretty much shut down the offense.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now I do like Jalen Smith as a player, but he had one good season.
Right.
Now he wasn't bad last year. He's all right this year. Leighton Vander Esch, he can barely turn his head.
Right.
Like let's not act like they have two world beaters. Like I said, I need to see these things for more than one season before I believe in it.
Yeah.
Is Demarcus Lawrence playing?
I believe so.
He's the only thing on that defense that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And he has one career sack against the Eagles.
Actually, Jay, would you mind checking on that? Sure. Demarcus Lawrence?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that I'm assuming he's playing.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that he's not. I haven't heard he's not.
I want to confirm that.
But he has one career sack against the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles
and
do a
Lane
pretty good job.
Johnson is playing today.
Yes.
So I don't see it. They should put up 30 generously on this team.
You haven't made me feel better, by the way.
Well, how does a seventh round? Have you ever been to JMU?
No.
Okay. There's more people in Walmart at any given time than at JMU. The level of competition that Ben DiNucci played against, you probably have seen better players in a men's flag football league.
I mean, he couldn't beat out Nate Peterman, so there's that.
Nate Peterman is statistically the worst quarterback probably ever.
And also a terrible quarterback name.
Yes.
I'm not starting you at Nate. It's like, you know how, like, let's say for this, if I have a pizza place, like, I need a good pizza name. I need a Sal's, I need a Mike's, I need a Nick's. I need a name like that. I'm not going to Bob's Pizzeria. I'm not going. And I say for my quarterback, I need a strong quarterback name. Nate Peterman sounds like a processor.
Yes.
He sounds like he has a white-collar job. He packs
he works at the bank.
He packs a peanut butter and jelly on wheat bread.
He works at the bank.
Definitely works at the bank. Like, yeah, I'm not. If your name's Nate Peterman, I don't care what you do. You're not going to be my quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't do it.
But
here's
there is such a drastic difference in quarterback talent level in this game.
1,000%.
That's pretty much all you need. Think back. Let me take you back last year to the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, Eagles. Believe it was week 3.
Yeah.
Someone who had no business being under center for the New York Jets. He was so bad I can't even remember what his name is right now. Jim Schwartz makes examples out of young, inexperienced, low-level draft pick quarterbacks. And that's why people are convinced he's a good defensive coordinator, because he makes bad quarterbacks look bad, and he makes great quarterbacks look great. Ben DiNucci is, and on top of that, he's been given bulletin board material. Have you heard what he said?
I have the quote.
You have the quote? All right, if you don't mind pulling that up while I just finish his last point.
Up.
Yeah, but there is no way that he has weapons galore. Okay, make no mistake, he has weapons galore. But what does he do when Amari Cooper comes over to him and starts screaming in his face because he overthrew him? Right. What's he going to do when Zeke comes over and starts screaming in his face because he decided to keep it on a read option when he should have gave it to Zeke?
So you brought up Ben DiNucci.
Yes.
Calling out the Eagles defense. This is a quote from Little Ben.
From a 7th round draft pick
Little Ben
from
says,
JMU.
Bring the whole house. Why not? We'll make up for it. It's all good. Listen to Nooch with the all good.
Tyron Smith is out.
Yep.
Their other tackle, can't remember his name, he's out.
Yeah.
Your all-world center retired. Now, granted, Zach Martin's coming back for this game. Mm-hmm. Zach Martin's back, but it's his first game back. Now he's an all-pro talent player. Make no mistake about it. But you don't know what he's gonna be like in his first game back.
So here's what's happening here. And I can't disagree. I'm not going to disagree with anything you said because that should make me feel better, but it doesn't. Because you are talking from a logical perspective, which is, you should be. All of those things were extremely logical, but this is an illogical situation because of where we're from and what we have to deal with. And I go back to, again, Joe Webb, Tuesday, 2010. And that's why for this game, for me, all of those things make total sense. And on top of that, on the Eagles side of the ball, you got Goddard coming back, you got Rager coming back, and Peters coming back, which is great.
Well, you could have left the last one out.
Yeah, I mean, true. He'll be in it for a couple snaps, but you got Goddard and Rager coming back, which is going to obviously open up the offense. So all these things are great. I'm just a little worried. I'm a little worried because of I've seen this movie before.
Fear not, and I will tell you why you should not fear not. Because the future quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts will lead them to victory today.
Stop it with that.
Okay? He will lead them to victory. Have faith. This is a number 11 game.
Trust in Carson.
This is a number 11 game.
It should be. Yeah, it definitely should be.
And he's going to show you why you need to trust number 11.
I need 300-plus yards, 3 TDs from him today.
And I think you'll get that.
I need that.
I actually think you'll get 340, 4 touchdowns and a pick.
I'll take 4 touchdowns and a pick.
And you'll
the
get
pick is just taking a chance down the field.
And you'll get a rushing touchdown for one of your backs.
So you got a 5 TD game. You got a 35 spot?
I don't see a scenario where they get under 35.
I hope you're right.
Add in a couple of field goals in there.
Yeah. Well, listen, it is Cowboys week, so it would be wrong of us not to take a trip down memory lane and go back into the great games and the great moments in Eagles Cowboys history. I originally said we were going to do top 5, but I think what we're going to do instead, because we might have some of the things on our list, we're just going to go back and forth and just reminisce about some memories.
All right.
Let's talk some Eagles Cowboys. The first one that pops in my head was 1995, the Cowboys' last Super Bowl year. They were significantly better than the Eagles. Significantly better. They come into the vet, Troy, Emmett, the triplets. Troy, Emmett, Michael Irvin. They had Deion Sanders by that point. They were a really, really good football team. And the Eagles were not. The Eagles ended up making the playoffs. That was a game you might remember where they beat Detroit at home like 58-37. Ridiculous. They scored like 35 points in the first half. Then the following they went to Dallas and lost to the Dallas in the playoffs. That was the year that Randall got replaced by that's John Gruden's first year's offense coordinator of the Eagles. And he was put in the West Coast offense and Randall couldn't get it. So he benched Randall for Rodney Peete. And what ends up happening is Randall his wife is giving birth. So Randall had to take a separate flight out, and he didn't think he was going to end up playing because Rodney Peete was starter. Rodney Peete gets hurt in the first half, like it's a concussion. Randall had to go in the game. He forgot his playbook at home, so it was a mess. The Eagles lost like 34-12. It was bad, and I think that was Randall's last game as an Eagle, also. And then he goes to Minnesota and becomes basically MVP, which is nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to Philadelphia. Anyway, Eagles play the Cowboys at home. Critical 4th and 1. On just before the 2-minute warning, and Dallas snaps the ball. They go for it on their side of the field. That's how arrogant they were. They go for it on their side of the field, and the Eagles stop them. But the 2-minute warning went off, so the play didn't count. So after the 2-minute warning, everyone's like, "Oh, well, they're gonna punt." Do they punt? No, they go for it again. And what do the Eagles do? They stuff them. They stop them and win the game, 20-17.
Now, admittedly, a little too young to remember that.
Yeah, I gave you a little history lesson.
I appreciate it. I'm going to take you back to the one of the biggest ones for me, and also I was there personally in game to see it.
Ooh.
2004, week 13.
No, the T.O. broken leg?
Yes.
Why are we talking about this? I don't want to talk about that. Why are you bringing that up? That doesn't make me feel good. It makes me sad.
You're talking about a season that led to the first appearance of the Eagles in the Super Bowl in 24 years.
This is true.
He got hurt against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
How can you not look at that as a memorable moment?
That was if I'm correctly, that's where the horse collar rule came from.
That's exactly where the horse collar rule stemmed from.
Yeah.
From Roy Williams.
Roy Williams. Big Roy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was in the stadium when that happened.
How big is a beast, though, that T.O. ran off the field with a broken leg?
Yes.
Like, that's insane.
The thing is, you didn't know in the stadium that he got hurt.
Okay.
Because they made no announcement of it. So if you're not listening to the telecast,
right.
you don't know.
Right. And it didn't even, when it first happened, it looked like, it was like, oh. But the way he ran off was like, oh, he's going to walk it off.
I mean, this is 2004. You're not pulling out your phone and looking at Twitter real quick and seeing the injury report.
Right. Right. I agree. I'm going to keep it with that same year, though. Keep that same energy. 2004, Monday Night Football, Eagles-Cowboys, where they go, you had heard some rumblings that McNabb and T.O. It was the first time you heard that, like, they're not getting along. And, like, the whole incident that happened where T.O. was trying to talk to Donovan. Donovan was walking back and forth on the sidelines, that whole thing. That had just happened. And they go to Dallas and put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
They just, like, T.O. had, like, 3 touchdowns, like, 2 in the first half, like, on, like, wide receiver slants is taking it to the house. And then, of course, the Freddie Mitchell throw McNabb makes. One thing about Andy Reid owned the Cowboys. He dominated the Cowboys. Like, there was not many times the Eagles lost the Cowboys under the Andy Reid era.
I agree. And it's funny you mentioned that because that same game is on my list. I have the McNabb 14-second scramble.
Yeah.
So that game is on my list. I remember it. They beat the brakes off of from the first play of the game to the last play of the game. They beat the brakes off of Dallas.
That 04 team was just so much fun to watch.
It was very much.
Like the game that always sticks out to me that season was the Packers game at home, where they scored 35 in the first half.
Yes.
And like the Packers were a good team.
Brett Favre was still very much rolling. Brett Favre was
still really good, and they had a good offense, and they couldn't keep up. They were just. I remember they were in the red zone, the last touchdown, and like Brian Westbrook. This was like prime Brian Westbrook, and McNabb drops back, and like surveys the field, and just a quick little throw to Westbrook. There was no one around him. And it goes to show you how T.O., the traffic he creates, and how you literally have to focus on him. And then that was you still had the tight ends that were playing well. There were so many weapons on that offense.
What was that? Chad Lewis and L.J. Smith.
Yep. And you still had to pay attention to everyone, so you couldn't double. So Westbrook's just wide open and literally walks in the end zone. And it's just they were just dominant. Yeah. It was so much fun to watch.
I remember hearing, you know how they have the players mic'd up?
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing Chad Lewis, after McNabb threw his 5th touchdown, running over to Andy Reid, saying, "What's the record for touchdown passes in a game? Can we get it?"
Huh.
And Andy Reid kind of just like,
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I don't know. That was a fun year. My favorite year watching McNabb, definitely, but definitely a fun year.
Let me give you 2013. Chip. Brandon Boykin interception to end the game and send the Eagles to the playoffs.
Yeah. Boykin, I remember that. That was Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football has been very good to the Eagles. The Eagles play very well on Sunday nights, and that was for the division. Yep.
Yeah, I remember watching that. And then, if I recall correctly, didn't they play the Cowboys the next week in the playoffs?
That was not no. They
no,
played.
Was that the Saints?
No, you're thinking of that was like 2009.
10?
That was last year.
I mean, that
was last year. They played the Cowboys back-to-back weeks and got hammered both weeks.
Yeah, one of them was in the playoffs.
We don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Yeah, you're right though. But yeah, real quick, Demarcus Lawrence is playing today, and Sean Lee also is active. Thanks, Jay.
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee never goes away. He's always around.
If he went to any other college than where he went to, I would throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
So we're just going to move on.
We're gonna move on. We're not gonna address it. So, I'm gonna go back to 1989. Young Marcus, 9-year-old Bradham. Thanksgiving Day, Eagles Cowboys. Troy Aikman's rookie year. The Eagles sacked Troy Aikman 11 times that day, which is, I mean, and this is when the Eagles. This is the greatest defense I've seen. It was Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Mike Pitts, Clyde Simmons, and they had a party on Troy Aikman's face. It was amazing. The Eagles ended up winning 27-0. I remember my cousins were playing, and then the game's on the background, and it was a joy and a delight to watch that beating take place on Thanksgiving Day.
And it's great because since you said it's Thanksgiving, you know it's a home nationally televised game.
Everybody's watching.
In Dallas. Yep. You ruined the holiday for them.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
I'm going to take you to another holiday game. Maybe you'll remember Merry Christmas, Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
The one Jeff Garcia.
Jeff
Garcia.
Jeff was none too happy with Cam Newton and the way he dresses.
No. Oh, he was.
He was upset. You're not good enough dressed like that, Cam.
Yeah. Which tells you that when Cam plays good, he doesn't care how he dresses.
True.
So.
True.
But yeah, I believe that's 2006, if I recall correctly. Yep. Christmas
2006,
Day.
Yep. McNabb's torn ACL.
Yes.
Yep.
Underdogs going into it. Mm-hmm. Jeff Garcia on the back end of his career. Yep. But he was one of those guys who, accurate passer, knew he was what Ryan Fitzpatrick is kind of now.
Yeah.
Came
knew how to
in
play the game.
And got it done.
Knew how to play the game.
And then he did the interview. Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. Now, you know the Eagles were going nowhere that year.
Right.
It didn't matter. But
Dallas. They actually had a little bit of run. They ended up beating the Giants.
Yeah, but you knew they weren't going to.
Right, they weren't going to go to the Super Bowl. You're right. Yeah, but they ended up beating the Giants, and they were very competitive against New Orleans in New Orleans. They actually almost won that game.
Was that the game that Reggie Bush's soul left his body?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when Sheldon Brown drove a stake through his heart.
Yeah.
And then they had the long bomb to Dante Stallworth. It was a lot happening. I'm going to keep it with the holidays also, and this one is a bittersweet one for me because the game itself was amazing. What happened afterward was not. 2014 Thanksgiving Day. Eagles Cowboys. Ooh. Eagles go to Dallas and lay a beating. 33-10. And LaShawn McCoy is running all over the place. The offense looks great. And they end up, at that point they were 9-3. And Ray Didinger tells a story that they were on a plane going home. And they were literally like, okay, so we need to start booking and getting ready for the Super Bowl. Where are we staying? That's how they were feeling. That's how confident they were. And I was too.
They looked good.
The offense looked incredible. They looked incredible. And then 10 days later, they lose Seattle at home. And then Dallas comes back in and beats them at home again. Mm-hmm. And the wheels just fall off. This team that was 9-3 doesn't even make the playoffs. But that game was fun.
It was. I mean,
and the last highlight of the Chip Kelly era, really. That was it.
Why do they always seem to celebrate Super Bowl things prematurely and it comes back to bite them?
Right.
It happened when they made plans for the parade in 2004, came back and bite them.
Yep.
When they started doing all this, making plans for this, where we're going to stay for the Super, screwed that up. Why don't they just let it go?
I'm going to hit you with a dadism. You can't count your chicken before they hatch, Justin.
Exactly.
Can't do it.
I'm going to take you to another. Seems like the Eagles are always at the Cowboys on a primetime game.
Correct.
I'm going to take you back.
National story loves. They love this stuff.
I'm going to take you back to 2017. Eagles are down at halftime, 9-7. Look, remember the Super Bowl year?
Mm-hmm.
Late in the Super Bowl year.
Yep.
Should be steamrolling them.
Yep.
I actually went to bed at halftime.
They scored in the first drive, too.
Yes.
It looked like they were going to. Yeah.
Actually, and all I remember is watching Tim Jernigan dancing after his sack and being like, you're losing the game.
Right.
What? I actually went to bed at halftime. Woke up 30 unanswered in the second half by the Eagles.
It was disgusting.
That was... You knew Carson Wentz was balling that year, but that game was truly the game where he kicked the door open.
Yeah, I watched that with my Dallas Cowboy friend, and after that first drive, I was like, "You want to just leave now?
Yeah,
this is gonna get ugly for you." And then I slowly watched nothing happen. I'm like, "What is happening?" And then the second half, the floodgates open. I was just smiling.
30 points unanswered in the second half.
Yep. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Primetime game in Dallas.
Yeah. Love it. Love to say it. I am going to end with 1996. Eagles Cowboys in Dallas, and this was kind of the beginning of the end for that Cowboys team and how great they were. The Eagles were underdog because Dallas people still had Dallas in high regards, and this is the year that Dallas loses. I think they lost to Green Bay in the playoffs. So the Eagles are in Dallas, Brian Dawkins' rookie year, and the Eagles are down by a couple points. Aikman throws a little out. Dawkins picks it off, takes it to the house. Something like 80 yards. Eagles win.
I love it.
Yeah.
From one Dawkins pick to another Dawkins pick, the 44-6 game.
Oh, yeah. That day in general, that whole day was just magical.
Yes.
Everything the Eagles needed to have happen to get in the playoffs. The Bears had to beat the Texans, and the Bears were not very good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Does that not mark Dawkins' final game at home as an Eagle?
It was. Yep. Because that was the random playoff run.
Yes.
The one no one saw coming.
Yes.
So yeah, you end up. That was the McNabb. I didn't know it was tie. So yeah, you have everything. You have the Bears beating the Texans. Then Gruden at home, Tampa Bay against the Raiders, and the Raiders were dreadful. The Raiders end up winning, and all of a sudden at 4:00, and then it was so cool because then you had. This is why I don't understand people with Joe Buck. I personally love Joe Buck because I like him on play-by-play. I also associate him with big time Eagles victories.
Yes.
So anyway,
big time games in general.
Big time games, period. So anyway, the Eagles end up, and you have the opening with Dawkins stomping on the field, and everyone's all excited because everyone knows now they're going to make the playoffs. But listen, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Sit at home, watch football all day, and prepare for tonight, where the Eagles battle the Dallas Danucci's.
The Dallas Danucci's, I like that.
All right, we will talk to you soon.
Yes.
For Justin Emery, I'm Marcus Bradham. This is Bradham Emery Morning. Later.